Well, I am Will Cain, and welcome to a special edition of Jesse Watters Primetime. You know, I've been married for a while, happily checked out of the game, well, 20 years ago, a long time ago, before the internet and dating apps. You know, back when you used to have to meet people in public. If you saw someone then that you liked, you had to actually go talk to them face to face.
Oye, sabrosura. You want to have some ice cream with my family?
Get lost, greaseball.
Look at that.
Ice cream?
All right.
You said ice cream?
Girl like ice cream.
Oh, come on, man. That's not going to work.
I want to make sure I'm not analogizing myself to Scarface. But you had to talk to people, and pickup lines like that didn't usually work. Well, some guys, they keep trying. They keep using them. They keep hitting on girls, no matter how many times they get blown off. And Joe Biden, he's one of those guys. In fact, you could say Joe Biden is a testament to persistence. He's been flirting with America for 50 years, trying to romance us into making him president. And he was denied time and time again, until finally, in 2020, America got into bed with Biden. Now, the average voter didn't know much about Biden, even though he had been in Washington, D.C. for 50 years. And that's because during a presidential campaign, he largely hid away from the public, hid away in the basement, while the media and the big tech essentially ran the campaign for Biden. Then Biden blew it, and now everybody wants out. But now Biden's trying to buy America another drink. He's hoping to get lucky one more time.
This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election.
That's Joe Biden's fancy new advertisement announcing his re-election in 2024. And yet, Joe's presidency seems to be the definition of complacency. You know, vacationing, napping. In fact, can you name one of Joe Biden's accomplishments? I don't know that you can, because Joe's not even really eager to share with you any of his biggest accomplishments as president. In that big announcement, highly produced, Hollywood produced, in fact, all he could really come up with is calling his opponent, and not just his opponent, but those who vote for his opponent in the last election, calling Trump voters extremists who hate old people, women, kids, and democracy.
Around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote.
Now, didn't he say he was going to unite the country? All he does on a consistent basis is villainize those who have a disagreement, from pandemic of the unvaccinated to threats to democracy. Joe's not campaigning against MAGA. He's running, he says, for our freedom.
Freedom. Personal freedom is fundamental to who we are as Americans. There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred. That's been the work of my first term.
Hey, look, and who's not for respect and dignity and freedom? And under Joe Biden, you're free to do anything you want, as long as you wear a mask, get 4 boosters, social distance, and so forth. Nobody is buying this. Democrats, well, they've wanted to dump Joe for a long time.
Mr. President, what's your message to Democrats who don't want you to run again?
They want me to run.
2/3 say they
Read
don't.
the polls. Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same.
We read the polls, Joe. It's not looking so good. But don't take it from us.
70% of all Americans, including 51% of Democrats. So more than half of Democrats say they just don't want to see him run again.
The polling is not great for Biden in terms of even Democrats that don't want to see him run again.
Well, I think the president is going to have to deal with the whole issue of age. He is 80 years old, and that is something that we just cannot pretend is not on people's minds.
A majority of voters saying that they don't want him to seek re-election, with many of those citing his age as a key concern.
A lot of people don't feel he should run in this country.
70%. Well, the White House doesn't believe those numbers. They don't trust the science.
As it relates to the polls, again, mindful of the 2024 election, and we understand what the polls are saying. I will say this, in 2022, let's not forget, more Americans voted for this president than any other president in history.
It doesn't appear that Joe Biden plans to do much campaigning this time around either. He's going to send out Democrat stars like J.B. Pritzker and Gretchen Whitmer to hit the trail for him. Joe wasn't fit enough to campaign in 2020, and he's even worse shape now. So how is he going to campaign in 2024? The White House isn't confident he would make it to the end of a second term.
Does the president plan to serve all 8 years?
I'm just not going to get ahead of the president. That's something for him to decide. I'm just not going to get ahead of it.
Does that inspire confidence? Like after the briefing, someone forced her to tweet out that Biden would serve all 8 years. And why couldn't she just say that at the podium? She didn't know if it was true. The answer wasn't in her binder. But the Biden team has this election in the bag. Have you heard the new catchphrase they're uttering?
We now have to finish the job. Union workers are going to finish the job. It's time to finish the job. Finish the job. There's more to do. So let's finish the job. We just got to keep it going. Finish the job.
Biden said it 6 times in one speech. So what is the job? What job is he finishing? Is he going to build more windmills, force you to take more vaccines, cause more inflation, more toxic train wrecks, more delayed flights, more money to Ukraine? What job are we finishing, Joe? What more do you have to do? We don't know, and neither does the White House.
He says that there's more that can be done. What is he doing right now? What is that more that he could be doing right now?
Well, look, he's always going to make sure to take action when it comes to don't have anything to announce at this time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.